Got it. I see it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you all for joining us on a Saturday morning before you start your day. I realize that Saturday morning is like sacred time for a lot of people. So I appreciate the time that you're taking to join us.
Yes.
We have an hour of impact and critical and essential information. So I want you to listen. If you have any questions, so that we're sure that we don't miss anything, please put it in the comments. There will be time for interaction. Okay. So, good. Also, I want to say up front, this is part one of a three-part series.
Yeah.
Okay, our next one is going to be on brain health on April 24th, 2021. And so, if you all enjoy this setting in this hour, can you please post about it and tag us if you can, because this is something that is so important. Okay. So without further ado, most of you guys know me. My name is Dana Maisha. I'm with the founder of Escape Velocity Resources Foundation. I push literacy. And I use that platform or that literal influence to also to push other initiatives, such as matters of the heart. You know, we as women, we are almost the leaders in heart disease, but we're
Hmm.
also the leaders in a lot of other things. So I am so proud to say that we have Nicole Lewis here. She is a integrative nutrition health coach, and she is going to speak to us about how we can manage and take care of our heart through nutrition. We're also going to talk about the power of forgiveness and self-love and self-care when taking care of the heart.
That's right.
So without further ado, I'm going to turn you guys over to Nicole, and I will come back in just a few moments because I want to talk to you all about the power of the heart. So
Ah,
thank you and welcome, Nicole. Thank you for joining us.
yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. I just want to say welcome and thank you so much to Dana Maisha for having me on your show. Um, this has been a passion of mine since 2014. And I'm just really excited to start getting that information out. So, what I would like to do is, because we're dealing with the matters of the heart, first and foremost, I want us to just take a second to put our minds and our thoughts on our heart. A lot of times we don't focus on our organs because they're not hurting, right? So if something hurts, then you're like, oh, what's that? Or, and then you put your mind on it. So let's just put our minds on our hearts at this time. If everyone, I have a little exercise. We're going to make this fun. If everyone can raise their left hand, take your right palm, use the palm of your hand, and put it above your heart. Now, there's a little myth that our hearts are way up here, and they're not. So they're directly behind our breastplate. So we want to make sure that we locate our heart, get in tune with it. And I want 10 circles on the heart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold it. Keep your hand over your heart for 5 seconds. You should feel warm energy coming from that particular part. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what that does is that's saying thank you. That's giving thanks to our heart. It woke us up this morning. It's providing oxygenated blood to flow throughout our bodies. And at this time, if you would like to grab a piece of paper and a pen, so maybe you want to take notes, or if you have your iPhone, you can go on notes and record the notes. It's up to you. And of course, you can send any messages or any questions that you have in the chat, as Dana Maisha has stated in the beginning. So the reason why I began with the heart exercise is because we want to be able to give our hearts the energy and the connection that we're following with it today, right? Everything needs encouragement and acknowledgement, and that goes for our organs as well. So with that being said, we want to go into, as Dana Maisha has stated, we want to go into nutrition, right? And we want to talk about plaque buildup in the arteries that prevents the heart from giving our bodies the oxygenated blood that it desperately needs every day, just with our normal movements. So some of the things that have really good nutrition is what we're going to cover now, just for the heart. But as we go forward, you will understand that it isn't just for the heart, but the heart is able to spread it throughout our whole entire body, right? And so this is kind of showing us how important the heart is. It's not just a beat, right? It's not just um, it's not just a heartbeat. It's information. So first, food is a lot of times not looked at as information for the body. We want to make sure that we're giving our bodies the proper information to be able to properly help us take care of us, right? So we're going to talk about fish that is high in omega-3 fatties. So we're going to talk about salmon and how even the omega-3s, how it helps the arteries to release the plaque and make sure that there's no plaque buildup in the artery. Some of the other foods that is very good for the heart are citrus foods. So we know that citrus foods also helps to alleviate plaque from the heart. When I say plaque, it's kind of like fat buildup, right, in an artery. And if it's clogged, then there's no flowing. So the blood isn't able to flow from the heart to the brain to the rest of your body. Now, the blood that flows through our body is full of oxygen. And a lot of these foods that we're talking about gives our body oxygen. And so along with citrus foods, we have flax seeds, we have turmeric. Now, turmeric works in a lot of different ways. It has, it's like a property that takes out inflammation in the body. So along with removing plaque, and I know you all are probably saying, why is she talking about this plaque buildup? It's very, very important for us not to have plaque buildup in our arteries for our hearts to work well. We are talking about the pardon me, guys, I'm so sorry. We're talking about preventing plaque buildup for the flow of oxygen to come throughout our hearts. And cumin is another herb that helps us to fight plaque buildup. If you go to healthharvard.edu, it'll give you some more information on green tea, which is something that is relatively new for heart healing, right? So green tea is what they're suggesting also to help remove plaque. Now, we all know that when you drink tea, it's warm liquid, just like soups. And so it helps our arteries be able to digest. Turmeric, cumin, and green tea are three really good components that have multiple different benefits for your body. So green tea, we know, is good for the brain, right? We know that cumin is also good and helps to fight heart disease. So when you're cooking, you might want to start considering not just using Lowry seasoning salt, right? And we want to start using different herbs that actually pay attention to our bodies. I am really nervous, you guys. So I just want to be very honest. I'm losing my place, but you know what? I'm gonna just go with it, and I'm gonna just speak to you like you're my friends, like I'm talking on the couch because I'm not used to this platform.
Take
Um,
your time. You're amongst friends.
yes, ma'am. Thank you, Sonny. Um, so I just wanted to go over those herbs and seasonings because they really, really help your body alleviate the plaque buildup. And I cannot stress how important plaque, releasing plaque from the body is so imperative for the arteries, which leads to the heart, right? So then we're going to talk about blueberries, other foods that usually we eat some sort, at some sort of time, but we don't really understand the benefit of what it is that we're doing for our body. So when you eat blueberries, that helps to lower blood pressure, right? Or if you eat oatmeal, and I'm not talking about the oatmeal that's covered in butter and sugar, the kind that we all grew up on. We're trying to break those negative generational curses. So we're not going to add tons of butter and sugar. We're going to put a little bit of honey. We can drizzle a little bit of honey and sprinkle some blueberries right on top of that oatmeal and have so much energy for the day. Blueberries also provide, it's an antioxidant, and they also provide you with potassium and a good amount of fiber. So all of those things, of course, we all know is something that our body needs on a daily. Then when we talk about oatmeal, and you compare different foods, so the taste will be better. Because what I found with a lot of my clients is we've been raised on a certain type of food and a certain amount of sugar, a certain amount of salt, that we have been accustomed to eating. And what we're trying to do, my biggest goal here is to give us different, healthier options to be able to give our bodies the right information. That's all food is. Food is information, right? And in order for us to behave properly internally, meaning with our organs and our blood and our bodies, then we have to give it the right information. It's just like if I'm talking to you and I'm giving you wrong information, then you'll have a misconception. You won't, you'll behave according to the misinformation. And we want to give our bodies proper information. Um, we want to talk about dark chocolate. So a lot of times I get, oh man, why do I, dark chocolate doesn't taste good. Well, if we talk about dark chocolate or chocolate at all, um, usually it's milk chocolate or now salted caramel, blah, blah, blah chocolate, when all of those things are comprised of a whole lot of sugar, processed sugar at that. And so dark chocolate is basically made 60 to 70% of the dark chocolate is comprised of cocoa. Cocoa is the main ingredient, and it also helps to prevent memory loss. So this is why I'm saying a lot of these foods and berries and oatmeal and things like that is what feeds our body. Um, yes, dark chocolate is good for us. Dark chocolate actually is very good for us. Not only does it help um, with our brain memory, right? It also releases a hormone called serotonin, which is a key hormone that stimulates our brains to release the happiness feeling or the feeling of well being or the feeling of love or the feeling of calm. Serotonin is very important for our bodies, and a lot of times we lack serotonin, which means that we're not giving our bodies the information. And so then we come on with anxiety, depression, grief, things like that, right? And one of the things that our hearts exude and is known for is love. So we have to give our bodies and our hearts the proper love and information so we could be able to have that same energy, right? So because cocoa is the main benefit and it also helps, excuse me, cocoa is the main ingredient in dark chocolate. It also helps to for our body cells to communicate. So our brain cells are able to connect with our nervous system cells with the assistance of cocoa. So our nerve system cells, our nerve system cells end up leading directly to our feet. Every cell, I mean, every nerve in your body ends in your feet, right? So if you start to feel tingling sensations or cramping in the feet, it's telling you something is going on in the nervous system. So I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to say, oh, take 2 teaspoons of dark chocolate and, no, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is give your body the proper information to be able to take care of you, right? So along with, um, and call me in the morning. So along with cocoa helping to release the serotonin, you will find that these things really are not just talk, right? And what I would challenge everyone on this call today, pick 2 ingredients that you normally do not use in your everyday seasoning or in your everyday lives. It could be blueberries and dark chocolate today. It can be oatmeal tomorrow. Remember, not covered in all the butter and sugar, okay? I don't know about y'all, but when I was growing up, I should have said, can I have some oatmeal with the butter and sugar, please? Because it was so much. But so we don't want to add all of the butter and sugar, but a good substitute is honey and blueberries that you can add, or strawberries or raspberries, any type of berry. And they also give your body tons of antioxidants. You'll have tons of energy. And a lot of people are like, so you're telling me if I eat a cup of blueberries, then I'm gonna be energized for the whole day. Well, no, that's not exactly what I'm saying. Everything is in moderation, right? Everything happens through the process of elimination. So if you're adding new information to the body, then what are you removing from the body so your body can digest the new information that you're giving it? It's very important that we really sit back. So let's think of our bodies like a car. Now, if you have a car, you know that when you go get an oil change, they change the what? The filter. So when you are changing the filters, you're able to take out all of the crud and all of the, things that will clog up your engine. So let's think of our bodies as the heart being the engine, and our kidneys, our liver, our filtration, our pancreas, our filtrations as the filters. Now, we can't just take our organs out and replace it. So what do we have to do? In order to properly detox our bodies from all of these bad nutrients that we've, excuse me, because they're not nutrients, all of the bad ingredients that we've been feeding ourselves on a daily basis. So these types of things, when you add them to your diet, just use one, take one thing and eliminate it and replace it. And then see if you start to feel a little less crampy or a little less swollen, or a little less hypertension or anxiety. Take a journal, get a piece of paper, write down, some of your concerns that you may have had before. And then as you're changing, and pay attention to your body, because it talks to us. It tells us what is good for us and what is not. And we normally ignore it if we feel a pain on our right side or a pain on our left side, and we just keep moving, right? Because we're so busy throughout the day. But we can't be too busy to where we're not giving our bodies the proper information and attention. Because if you don't change those filters in your car, then you will not be going anywhere because your car will be stuck, right? So we want to look at our bodies as the vehicle to our daily movements. And while we're doing that, we want to be able to, while we're driving, we want to be able to detox as well as intake information. And if our body is so clogged with high cholesterol, high blood pressure, diabetes, all of these things that plague our particular community, then we won't be able to move as fluidly, right? And we want to be able, my goal here is to at least give you a snippet of something that you can simply add to your day to be able to make your journeys a little bit easier. So I hope that I have given you some information that you can take with you. If you have any particular questions, or if you have anything in particular on plaque buildup or other foods that can help your bodies release the plaque buildup so we don't have hypertension or high blood pressure or swelling or retaining too much water in the body, you can go to www.ignitewellwithin.com and enroll for a free 30-minute consultation. I'm giving everyone, especially women, in the month of March, a free 30-minute consultation because we have to be able to take care of our bodies and pay attention to it if we want it to continue to take care of us, right? We want to learn how to release more serotonin in the body because we want more happy feelings and more feeling of well-being instead of anxiety, and holding on to things, which when plaque builds up, they say every ailment comes with a mental manifestation first. So if you're feeling that you're holding on to too many things, then you're building up. You're having a lot of plaque buildup, right? And we don't want that. We want to be able to release more serotonin and be able to pay more attention to all of the information that our body gives and that we give our body. As you can see, your heart is the moving vehicle for your body. Take a little time out of every day and show it a little bit of love. That took 15 seconds for us to acknowledge the heart. 15 seconds. Thank you, heart, for traveling this oxygenated blood throughout our body. We know that when we have more oxygenated blood, then our heart releases and produces more blood vessels, which is allowing our bodies to obtain more oxygen, which is what your muscles need to be able to go about your daily lives. And all of these things are things that I am more than happy and willing to assist anyone with. And I want to take the time to thank you, Sister Dana, again for allowing me to take part with you this morning and all of our guests. I want to thank you for your attention, and I want to turn this back over to Dana Maisha.
Okay. You know what? Thank you, sis. Thank you for all of this information. And I am definitely going to turn this back over to you shortly. But I want to also consider, you spoke about, the heart holding on to things. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that we also should consider the things, and you also talked about for every physical manifestation, or for every physical manifestation, it starts in the mind and what we're going
Right.
through and what we allow ourselves to go through. And
Mm-hmm.
speaking of releasing, forgiveness, I
Yes.
think that there is a lot to be said about forgiveness. I think that we hold on to a lot of things, a lot of unprocessed trauma, and we do that because we're hurt, but we don't realize that we're hurting ourselves more by not releasing it. And also
Absolutely.
too, that forgiveness and replacing it with love doesn't mean that we accept whatever hurt us, or that we excuse whoever may have offended us. A lot of times we need to forgive ourselves for some things. So
Right.
I
That's
want to
right.
read something to you all. This is a book. It's called The Power of the Heart, and it's by Dr. Amy Block. And I don't know much about her, so I want to admit that off top. But I think she says some very profound things that we need to consider. So she says, most of us have been raised to believe that we can solve any problem if we think about it hard enough. We spend years honing our intellect, right? Knowing that our brains are our best line of defense against whatever roadblocks life throws in our way. But each and every one of us has a secret weapon to call upon when brain power isn't enough, and that is heart. So I don't know how many people have experienced, knowing something intellectually to be true, but our heart says something different, right? So I think that we need to really take care of our heart and consider and what we're allowing to hold on. So
Right.
just like we have plaque, right? And
That's
Sister
right.
Nicole says that we can get rid of that through citrus juices. Not We're not talking about high C orange or orange
Right.
soda,
Right.
but citrus juices from oranges, real oranges or
Mhm.
lemon. Um, and drinking warm liquids, right?
Liquid. Yes.
Green tea, right?
Hmm.
So, and we can melt away some of that plaque, but then we could also too get rid of some of what we're holding on to too. I guess we call them feelings. Like it doesn't feel good, or
Right. Come
sometimes
on now.
I don't know if anybody has ever experienced a heartache. It ain't
Mm.
nothing you can take for
Come
that. You
on.
can't take no Tylenol, no lemon water.
Right.
I tell you, yeah, no, you can't do none of that.
None
But
of it.
it's a really an inside job and some inside work. So
Mhm.
they say the specific list of heart abilities, the capabilities that being in heart gives you looks quite different from any of what we think that we can do. So, living with uncertainty, the heart has the ability to do that. Finding strength, resilience, courage, endurance, and persistence in tough times. Knowing who you really are and what you really want, and getting to the truth. Managing difficult emotions. Mm,
Come on
Finding
now.
freedom from self criticism and doubt, right? Self
Mhm.
criticism is a beast,
Yes, it
right?
is. Yes,
Right.
it is.
Yeah. Discovering freedom from over dependence on outside affirmation. I got to say that again.
Come on now.
Discovering freedom from over dependence on outside affirmation. A lot of what we need. I mean, it's good to have like your sister friends, your partner, your family. It's good to have them affirm you and validate, your feelings or validate your work. But that's not going to always happen, because a lot of us, we don't wake up every morning on 100. The best of us don't wake up every
Mhm.
morning on 100.
Come on.
So I'm saying, Sister Nicole, I'm your sis to the end, but sometimes I'm not on 100. So you can't
Right.
really
I
depend
get
on
it.
me to always affirm you,
Hmm.
and vice versa. So, and fully
So,
experience.
Sister Dana, can I just pause right there?
Absolutely.
So, right with you talking about that, let's get back to the serotonin, right? We
Okay.
need more of the serotonin releasement, right? So, just like we need to give our bodies and our hearts the proper information, then our hearts will give our brains the proper information to be able to release
Uh-huh.
the proper amount of chemicals, right? Or
Uh-huh.
um not chemicals per se, like, but I was using our bodies as, a car, so I was thinking of it from that
I
aspect.
love that
but
analogy.
but the hormones, the hormonal releasements, to
Mm-hmm.
be able to have that happy feeling about ourselves and to be able to have our own positive affirmation, right? We need to give it to ourselves, right? So come on with the dark chocolate and the serotonin.
Yes, I got some dark chocolate too at my counter. Um, you know what? I think this is a perfect segue. I think we should turn it over to talking more about self-care, because like I mentioned before, when we start talking about those heartaches,
Hmm.
sometimes nothing but time can heal that, right?
Right.
And then it's what you do with that time. You can't just
Right.
wallow in it, right? You can't
No.
wallow in it. So what are some of the things that we can do while we're in that healing process? I know you mentioned exercise was a thing.
Hmm. So when we're just moving, right? Just movement, period. And you're getting your limbs moving and you're allowing your body to circulate your oxygenated blood. Let me just share something really quickly on my morning rituals that I take for me, right? Your morning ritual, everyone should have a morning ritual where you get up, you thank the God, you thank the Mother Nature or whoever, however you relate to the higher being. And you have that communication in the morning. I get up, I have a cup of warm tea. Whether it's just water and I squeeze fresh lemon in it. You
You
don't
put
know what
sugar
that
in it?
lemon is doing to
No
your
sugar?
intestines, right? So the lemon and the acid in the lemon is helping to extract toxins, toxic waste from your from your uh, intestines. So I just get up and I have like a 5-minute meditation. And I say, Nicole, you're going to be successful today. You have to do this, you have to do that. Get your game face on and let's tackle this day. You know, give your body good information. So when you wake up, and if you're a breakfast person, what are you doing in the morning? You're breaking fast, right? Because I know we don't eat all throughout the night while we're sleeping, right? So we're allowing our bodies to rest. Everything needs a respite period. So when you wake up in the morning, give your body some good information to start the day off. Have a warm cup of tea. Even if it's just lemon water, right? Give yourself something warm and comforting, not fried hash browns and chicken fried steak and things like that. Like, no, let's not give our bodies wrong information the first thing in the morning. A lot of people say, oh, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. You don't necessarily have to have a meal. You could, like, I make smoothies in the morning, blueberry smoothies with coconut water after my tea. That's my thing because it helps my body feel well. It gives my body positive affirmation for my organs to be able to maintain my daily activities. We have to care about our bodies and think of it because it gives us our movement every single day without fail, right? Because it's what it's supposed to do. So I just would encourage us to pay more attention to our bodies. And when it's talking to us, listen before it stops talking.
Okay, you know what? I think now would be a good time. I know Ignite Well Within has a prize for someone. But
Yes.
before we go into that, I'm hoping that we can be a little bit more interactive. We have a few minutes left because we're not going to keep you long. Again, we appreciate you guys because you guys could be anywhere on a Saturday morning. Um, I want to know, can folks chime in? What do you guys do to take care of your heart?
Make sure I brush and floss and get regular teeth cleanings because I read an article years ago that said the plaque on your teeth buildup can actually cause heart attacks, and that scared me so bad
Mm.
that I even have a toothbrush at my desk at work, and I brush after lunch, and so that's one of the things I do to care for my heart. And like our host said, make sure you tune into your vital organs. You can do a self check and just tune in and check on them and see how they're doing. They, like she said, they often get neglected just because they're not making noise, but you don't want them to get to the point where they do start making noise, because at that point it might be, little too late. So
Mhm.
I do those things: brush teeth and check in with my vital organs.
Okay. That was good information.
Mhm.
That
Yes,
was great
indeed.
information.
Another
Anybody?
plaque play on. Let's talk
Mm-hmm.
about that plaque buildup. We have got to get rid of it. Let's filter that out.
Uh-huh. With the yeah.
Who's having a
Karima.
blueberry smoothie today?
Right. I
Yeah.
actually I actually had a blueberry smoothie yesterday because I'm trying to
Mm.
take sea moss and there's no way I could do it without I have to put it in. I can't. But Karima, what do you do to take care of your heart, Queen?
Well, since the virus, I haven't been out, but I try to at least get at least 15 minutes in walking. Um, so yeah,
That's
um,
good.
yeah,
That's very good. So as your body is moving and you're getting up to walk and things like that, your heart is producing more blood vessels to be able
yeah,
to give your muscles all of that oxygenated blood that it needs to keep moving. So that's beautiful, sister. Keep it going.
Yeah.
Brother Nuri, what do you do to take care of your heart? And thank you for joining us.
Thank you for the invitation. I really enjoyed the program. I see I'm the only brother on here. It looks like I'm the only dude on here. That's terrible. We need some more men on here for sure. Before to take care of my heart, I make sure, just like your physical heart is like the seat of your blood flow, you have to take care of your mental heart too. And I try to at least get my studies in, try to make sure my prayers are in. And I've been working out for the last like 90 days, 3 times a week with a trainer. And dude try to kill me like at least 3 times a week.
Oh, wow.
I'm hoping that I'm getting in better shape. And I haven't given up sugar yet, but hopefully it's coming. I don't know about the dark chocolate and the berries and all of that, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try the oatmeal with no sugar in it.
Honey, you can drizzle your honey.
Drizzle. That don't even sound right. Drizzle.
Drizzle some honey, your local honey. It'll help you with allergies too.
Okay. Thank you so much, Brother Nuri. Felicia, what do you do to take care of your heart?
I try to have a healthy diet. Like I don't eat a lot of fried foods and saturated fats and stuff. So that's one thing that I do.
Okay.
That's beautiful. Sis said she doesn't do a lot of saturated fats. So saturated fats is the #1 cause for plaque buildup and heart attacks. So keep up staying away from saturated fats. They are a no-go.
Sis, can you break down exactly what saturated fats are?
It's basically like processed oils taken out of their natural state, because a lot of oils like olive oil, avocado oils, those are really good fats. Our bodies need a lot of good, healthy fats. Saturated fats is like too much oil trying to travel with blood. It just doesn't mix. And then that's what creates pockets of plaque buildup.
Okay.
So when you're looking at your food, it's okay when you see omega fats, right? Omega-3 fats. Those are good fats, good healthy fats from avocados, good healthy fats from salmon, good healthy fats from lean meat if you're a meat eater. Anytime you see saturated fats, which is one of the programs that I have, I help people understand ingredients that they're reading. Saturated fats, so when you see on the back of a label and it has a high content of saturated fats, just put it down. Because when I read a high amount of saturated fats, I'm like, heart attack, nope. High blood pressure, no. So try to stay with the good pure oils like olive oils, avocado oils, grapeseed oils, things like that.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. So a lot of us, and maybe I'm saying a lot of us grew up drinking ice water. Is ice water bad?
I don't think ice water is bad.
So,
I drink ice lemon water every day.
Okay, so I'm asking you this. I think we were told or we read somewhere that ice water is not good to drink with a meal.
Okay, so now that question is different. Yes. Okay. So while you're eating, after you eat, you should wait about, I would say 15, 20 minutes after you eat. Allow your body to start digesting the food that you've just taken. And it has been studied that room temperatured water is better and will help your body digest more with room temperature water as opposed to ice water, because of, when you're eating ice and you have something really cold and it's oil, then it gets what? It's no longer a liquid, it's now a solid, right? So for that reason, yes, right? So after a meal, yes, ma'am, you're absolutely correct. I would drink lukewarm water or room temperatured water is better because it will help your body digest your food well. Yes, ma'am.
It's nothing like a cold glass of ice water, though. And it's so funny because it seems like everything that's good is not always good for you.
Right. And we
Uh-huh.
sacrifice a lot of our well-being for things that are momentarily taste good on our tongue. And,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that's not well at all,
Uh-huh.
especially for sugar addicts.
Don't start talking about me. Okay, but no, I know, sis. Thank you so much. This has been so informative. We got a few minutes left. You want to go ahead and talk about, because I noticed no
I would
one.
like to get the gift. Hold on one second. One moment.
Okay, so while she goes and get the gift, I noticed that no one talked about the writing as a regimen. Does anybody here like release and exhale through writing?
I keep a journal.
You keep a journal? Yeah, I keep a journal too. I have a couple journals. And sometimes I need to write my thoughts, things that I can't say for whatever reason. I write, and it feels like such a release.
Yes.
Yeah. Anybody else? Oh, tell me, what were you going to say, brother?
I was just gonna say it keeps you people from getting cussed out by making sure you write in the journal. Keeps your stress level down low.
That's true. That's true.
I think that's why some people turn to sugar.
There you go, talking about me.
I'm really not talking about you.
No, but I know I need to replace that habit.
Okay.
Replace it.
So while we're talking about journals, what I have today for our very first guest that logged on was Miss Sunny. I'm so sorry. What is Miss Sunny Harley? Miss Sunny Harley. And what I have is an Ignite Well Within journal. And inside it has a page breaker and a little pouch back here. And a lot of times I use that little pouch for personal feelings that I need to go back to, right? Or some sort of goal that I want to accomplish. And then I burn it, after I've accomplished it because I'm releasing it, right? So
Yes.
I want to say thank you, Miss Sunny Harley, for being our first guest today and logging in. I will make sure that I have this journal and I'll send it to you, Dana. Or actually, Miss Sunny, if you want to put your address in the chat box, I will make sure to send you this journal and you will have it by the end of this weekend. Or no, by the end of next week. Does she live in Sacramento? You live in Sacramento, Miss Sunny?
I
Sis,
do. Thank you so much.
yes.
Yes, you are very welcome.
Yes. So our next meetup is going to be Saturday, April 24th at 10 a.m. And we're going to be discussing the brain and how we could take care of our brain through nutrition.
Yes.
And other things as well. So I'm hoping that you all will join us. Look out for the flyer. We're going to send it to you. And if you think that this was informative or a great way, a nice power hour, give myself or Sister Nicole a shout out. Just because these are the things that we talk about, right, Sister Nicole? We talk about
Yes, we do.
how we can, this is what our phone conversations consist of, how we can defy gravity, right? And so she's always on me about nutrition, and I'm always talking about, feelings and processing and all those kind of things. So we thought it would be nice just to share the things that we talk about. Um,
And they
anything
really there's not a separation in feelings and nutrition because what it is that we eat sometimes a lot of times determines how we feel.
else? That's right. So Sister Felicia says that she needs that. She says she has memory issues.
Mm.
Uh-huh. You know what I do too? Sometimes I recall things. I see a picture maybe from years ago and I'm like, oh, okay, I was there because I spent a lot of time not really physically being present. And
Mhm.
I'm not sure if that's what Felicia is talking about. Felicia, you want to explain that? I think she's talking about chocolate because you said that dark chocolate helps with the
Mhm.
memory.
Helps the brain memory. because of the cocoa?
No, actually, memory issues. Like, I don't know if it's probably, sorry, the baby's sleeping. He's in my lap. Um, Probably just not getting enough rest, probably, and stuff. Exhaustion. So
We
just
didn't.
actually not, recalling stuff, or I'm about to do something and I'm like, what was I about to do?
Mhm.
Oh,
So
you
Mhm.
experienced that
Brain
too?
fogs.
Yeah,
yeah.
brain fogs. We didn't talk about rest, sis. Rest is actually a form of therapy, right?
Yes. We did actually. Remember, we said that, everything needs a respite time. Everything needs to rest and rejuvenate. And that means mentally also. So sometimes when you're overloaded and you feel like you have so many things happening, so many things going on, you will be like, oh, dang, what was I about to do? Oh, okay. You
Mhm.
know,
That's
so,
the story of
but
my
sis,
life.
just off top, I could give you a little bit more information before our April 24th meeting. If you like walnuts, if you like dark chocolate, if you like, you can make a smoothie, right? You could use blueberries, coconut milk, throw some walnuts and some drizzle, some honey in there. No sugar. Use honey. Honey helps with everything. But that's a quick smoothie. And people are like, I don't know about walnuts in a smoothie. Sis, it's really good. Blueberries, walnuts, cocoa, what with coconut milk. I mean coconut water. I'm sorry. And let me just show you real quick.
Okay. Oh, okay. Agave. What about agave, sis?
So this is the coconut water that I use. It's no added sugar, and it really still has a sweet taste from a coke. Like, has anyone ever just ate a coconut, like a raw coconut? It
Mhm.
has a sweet kind of aftertaste,
Mhm.
but this coconut water is really good and it pairs very, very well with blueberries and walnuts. So talk to me after. I want to know how, if you tried it, I want to know if you like it.
Mhm. So, sis, how can people get a hold of you?
A couple of ways. I am on Facebook under Ignite Well Within. And I have a website. You could go to my website, www.ignitewellwithin.com. And you can leave any comments, you can have questions. And I do reply within the next 24 hours.
Okay. So, before we go, what is your passion? Why are you so passionate, other than the obvious reason, right? We definitely want to stay alive. But
Mhm.
what drives you, sis?
So, usually um, something has to happen for us to get moving on doing, whatever our goals are, right? So in 2014, I had a loved one who was diagnosed with a form of cancer.
Okay.
And in my mind, I was like, I can't accept this. So I need to find ways to keep this person alive. I need them to be alive. So I went to the Institute for Integrative Nutrition. I took so many workshops. I traveled all the way to Reno, Nevada, Las Vegas. I went a lot of places trying to learn information about food and what properties it provides for our bodies. I just want us to live longer. And I don't want us to live longer and be 80 and, having to be in a wheelchair and not really fulfilling life. When I leave this earth, I want to leave knowing that, I can walk, I can talk, my limbs are intact, my organs are well. So I want to give our communities and, other individuals information so then maybe their families won't have to be affected by a cancer patient or a heart attack patient or high blood pressure. My
Mm-hmm.
passion is to really help people live well,
Mm-hmm.
not just living, because a lot of times we're living, but we're not living well. I
Mm.
want to help people live well.
Okay. Would you recommend, what books would you recommend for people to just have in their at their disposal? I just typed in, oh no, you go ahead.
Definitely, yes, definitely How to Eat to Live.
Mm.
How to Eat to Live by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad is a life-saving book. There is so much information in there. There's actually, it's a two-part series. It's book 1 and book 2. And before I even got into integrative nutrition, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, I learned so much from these books because we are taught, and generation by generation, how to eat, but it doesn't benefit our bodies, and it's really killing us. So the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad created some books to teach us how to eat, because we're not living to eat, we're eating to live. And we don't need 3 meals a day. We don't need all these snacks in between. And so he teaches us that. So you ought to go on www.noi.org and you can order How to Eat to Live books 1 and 2.
Can I do a shameless plug?
Yes.
You can also find it at your local bookstore, All Things Literacy. No, they're on the way. I don't want to act like I'm have them right now, but definitely they're on the way. I finally was able to tap in.
Tap, tap. Yes, ma'am.
But I got to do more than tap in, though. I got to really live it. And I got to live it. So it's one thing to know something intellectually. It's null and void if you don't practice it.
Right.
And so I just really appreciate this conversation. And I appreciate everyone here on the line.
Yes.
And I'm going to give the final words to you, Sister Nicole, as we let people go on with their day.
Throughout their day. I just want to thank everyone for coming on. I want to thank you for your time and your energy. I get very nervous speaking in front of people, but Miss Sunny, I want to thank you for your kind words earlier today and helping me understand to just be cool. So thank you, Miss Sunny. But what I would like to leave you with is, if you could take one thing that you would like to change and substitute something that you know that is not well for you, and substitute it with something that you have learned today. So rather it be sugar, you want to substitute with honey. Rather it is a whole lot of soy oil or vegetable oil made out of soy oil, you want to use avocado oil. Just take one thing. Don't overwhelm yourself like, oh my gosh, I need to change this. But we all do, right? But let's give our bodies a chance to get acclimated to a few things, because what we don't understand is we won't be able to digest all of the nutrients if you overwhelm your body and you overstimulate it. So just take one thing, everybody, one thing. Make a commitment to yourself.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, we hope to see you all, well, before April 24th, but we hope to see you all April 24th at 10 a.m. as we talk about brain health. And peace and love, everyone. I hope you meet all your goals today.
Enjoy your day, everybody.
All right. All right, peace.